MBRP's XP Series 2.5-inch catback exhaust with a split rear exit should appeal to any 11 to 14 3.5-liter EcoBoost owners who are looking for a modest bump in sound without going overboard and want a relatively affordable stainless steel exhaust. The XP Series comes in a black chrome and chrome finish, something I personally like because it's different from all the other systems available for your EcoBoost. Some slight cutting might be required depending on your cab and bed size, but it's just one cut, so I'm still giving this an easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, and expect the install to take about 2 hours. Looking at sound first, the MBRP XP Series provides a nice deep tone for your 3.5-liter EcoBoost. It doesn't get overly loud or raspy, which is something the smaller motor can suffer from when you get into louder systems. There is no rasp to speak of, and there's very little to no drone inside the cabin. This exits out the rear, which I personally like. So I'm giving the XP Series a 3 out of 5 on our 1 to wake the neighbor scale. The XP Series from MBRP is made out of 409 stainless steel with a 2.5-inch tube. This is the same steel your factory exhaust is made from, so you can expect this catback to last around the life of your truck. 304 stainless pipes might look a little cleaner after a few years, but the polished chrome finish on this kit will look good after some time as well. This is actually one of the only split rear exits currently available. The 3.5-inch tips on this kit are 304 stainless themselves, so they'll hold up just fine without any rust. All the piping on this kit is mandrel bent with the hangers pre-installed, so it should bolt up and line up without any issue. At just north of $500, I think this kit is fairly priced. The only less expensive split rear option comes from pipes, and they don't include any finish on the metal. I personally like the polished finish, and I'll think to make the system look better for longer. If you wanted a matte black split rear exhaust, you'll have to look at MBRP's Black Series, which costs a little bit more. Keep in mind, MBRP's exhausts all generally sound the same. The only difference will be the configuration and the materials involved. Because of the bolt-on design, I'm giving this a 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Expect this to take you about 2 hours or less. A lift or jack stand are not necessary, but they'll make taking out the old exhaust easier. The tools you'll need are a ratchet and socket set, as well as some lubricant for the exhaust hangers. Depending on your model and bed length, you may need to shorten your front pipe. In those instances, a Sawzall or Dremel tool will be needed. Also included in the box is an extension pipe, which is not necessary on most of the models. There's a chart in the instructions that'll let you know if any of that will be needed. After you get your F-150 safely on some jack and jack stands or on the lift, you're going to apply some lubricant to the fasteners, the rubber insulators, and all the hangers. So first, I'm going to use a 13mm socket to remove the flange behind the Y-pipe. So now we're going to use a 10mm socket to remove the forwardmost exhaust hanger. So now we're going to remove the entire exhaust by removing it from the hangers. Next, we're going to take the front pipe and we're going to install it with the existing flange, and we're going to loosely put it up with the hanger. Depending on your bed length and your model year, you may need an extension pipe and you may need to cut this. Just look at the instructions and you'll figure out what you need. Now we're going to install the muffler onto the front pipe, and then we're going to use a jack stand just to support it. So next, we're going to install the driver's side over axle pipe to the muffler. So now we're going to do the same thing with the passenger side over axle pipe. Now we're going to install the tailpipe into our over axle pipe using the existing hanger. So we have our included driver's side exhaust hanger. We're going to install this with the driver's side tailpipe. So next, we're going to install our 2 exhaust tips, and then we're going to make our final adjustments and final fitment test, and then tighten everything up on the exhaust. That wraps up my review and install of MBRP's XP Series 2.5-inch catback exhaust with split rear exit. You can check these out and more at AmericanTrucks.com.